Oh, thank God, Tennessee. Oh, my goodness. Aftyn Behn, the Democrat running in the special election for the House in Tennessee, was defeated. Now, it's a deep red, heavy Trump district, but listen, people are going to try to sell you that this is some big sign. Or here's the thing. It's an off-election year. Democrats always do better in off-election years because they tend to be more engaged, because Republican voters have things like, jobs and families and hobbies, whereas this is these people's entire life. It's their religion, whatever. So Democrats typically perform well in off-election years unless there's some massive red wave coming. So what you'll see Democrat donors will pour and Republicans try to do this too during special elections, but they'll pour a bunch of money into races to try to flip a seat they couldn't normally get or make it look a lot closer, even though in a year when the normal election cycle comes up, they're going to get dog walked. They try to sneak up on people because a lot of people aren't aware that there's a special election in their district, which is why you should pay attention to those important things. So Aftyn Behn was Behn. I don't fucking care because this lady's an afterthought now, so I don't really care how to pronounce her name. But she lost by like 5 to 7 points, and the Democrats are all celebrating because Trump won it by over 20. Now, Olivia Giuliana, the jumbo-sized Democrat activist, tweeted this picture out saying that the election results almost gave her an asthma attack, so she had to put her breathing machine on. Was it the election, honey, or was it, the fact that you had to get up to walk from the couch to the fridge and back? I don't know. Remains to be seen. I love how this is what they celebrate. These are the people that the Democrats are proud to put out front. Like, is that what you want to be? You want to be the party of moral victories that celebrates losing by 7 points? You want to be the party of just poor health, physical and mental, that you're going to trot fat slobs like that out? Listen, if you're that fat, if you are that big, there's a mental health element to it too. There is. Because no one who's happy with themselves, no one who truly loves themselves gets this big. Nobody who loves themselves gets that fat. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. That's not how this works. So I'm trying to do 2 jobs. I'm wearing 2 hats here. Mia's not here, so I got to do both. So Aftyn Behn was quite possibly one of the most batshit unhinged candidates we've ever seen. Here's what she had to say about prayer. Prayer, yes.
And I think, especially as someone who is more secular, I have a hard time when religion is at the core.
Hold on, that's her. Doesn't she look nice? She looks like a real friendly, approachable gal. I'll go back a second.
I have a hard time when religion is at the core of everything we do in the legislature. And so, for example, on the House floor, we say a prayer every session. Some committees open up with prayer. We also stand.
She's real uncomfortable about prayer. These are the people that a couple of weeks ago were arguing that you were a xenophobe and a racist if you had a problem with Islamic prayer calls 5 times a day in Dearborn and Minneapolis. But she's real uncomfortable about the legislature saying a voluntary prayer before they get started.
For the pledge. And there are also prayer groups in the legislature that meet routinely.
Oh, the horror. People, consenting adults doing things in their free time. The horror. Make it stop.
There are Christian pastors that have a lot of say and proximity to power in the legislature.
Yeah, it's crazy. Christian pastors that have a lot of say in proximity to the legislature. It's almost like the people that are putting them in power are also Christians themselves, and they would like to have a say. Do you notice that? Do you notice how it's not a problem when Somalis elect Ilhan Omar in droves every election? That's not a problem when they elect Muslim representatives or Somalian representatives or whatever, because the Somali people just want to have a say in the way their government's run. But when Christians do it, now it's a problem. Now we're hijacking the legislature for our religious dogma and we're Nazis. You ever notice that? Isn't it weird the double standard these people have set? By the way, if someone like her went to a Muslim country, they would hang her in about an hour. We don't like that. But that's what they would do. Here's another comment she had to make. Here's another comment she had to make about the patriarch, whatever these bullshit bumper sticker talking points are. Here you go.
My therapist always asks me to transcribe my dreams when they happen. And the recurring dream.
Pause right there. Therapist. We all know how I feel about therapy. Dare I say something a little bold here? Dare I say that if you require the assistance of a therapist to function, not, hey, I had to go because I had some PTSD, so I went and took care of it, and now I'm done. If you require the assistance of a therapist to function as an adult, you should not be in a position where you can vote to send my children to war. I don't think that's a big ask on my part.
I've had is standing up in a cafeteria full of women. I don't know why I was there or whatever, and saying, I don't want children, I want power. And just
that's who I want. That's who I want power. I love how she just lays it all out. I want power. I don't want children, I want power. She doesn't even hide it. Not, I want success. I want to be my own woman. I want to be independent. I want power. That's what this nutcase is dreaming about. Oh, we dodged a bullet. Oh my God.
Screaming it at the top of my lungs. And for someone who grew up with my mother telling me never have kids because you'll have to give up a lot. You'll have to sacrifice professionally, which is what she was saying.
Oh no, professionally. So it's been generations of poison. Isn't that what every kid wants to hear from their mother is never have kids because it's going to ruin your life? I don't know what I would have done. I mean, this is why this woman's so fucked up. This is generational trauma here. This is childhood trauma here. If your own mother looks you in the eye as a child and says never have children, how do you think the kid's going to respond to that? Don't have kids because mommy can't make PowerPoints for $55,000 a year now. Because you fucked it up, you little cunt. I mean, that what an evil thing to say to your child. No wonder this bitch is the Wicked Witch of Tennessee. Her mother was a psychopath. Your own mother told her never have children. She can think that. You can't say it. This is how liberal women are born. From parents that despise them. No one who loves their children raises a child that grows up to be this much of a spiteful, evil demon.
And where I am now with seeing the consequences.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're 37, no husband, no kids, no career to show for it in therapy. And you're celebrating an 8-point loss in a congressional race, which, by the way, is the closest you will ever come to the power you desire oh so much.
And the ramifications of women having kids and being in the political field and what they're able to achieve, because we don't offer, it's like the political field hasn't met the challenge of working moms. They really haven't. But also the deeply patriarchal structures that these women are involved with because they've chosen marriage and they've chosen to raise children. And I think in the South, it's incredible.
See, there's the big takeaway right there. Chosen. They've chosen marriage and they've chosen to raise children. Do you notice that? These crazy antinatalist feminist women always have that tell because they'll try to package it as if they just want a choice. They just don't want women to be pressured into starting families and getting married and raising kids and all that. They just want people to have the choice. They'll try to sell it to you like that they don't care. You do what makes you happy. And then they will actively argue against the opposite of their lifestyle. Because it's not actually about choice. It's only about choice if you choose what they want you to choose. Because these are anti-human demons at the core. They're either anti-human demons, which I think she is, or in a lot of cases, I think you have women that regret their choice to not get married and regret their choice to not have children. And when they come out and they argue about it so publicly, like we've showed that Hannah Cox girl doing, to them, it's not about convincing you. They're trying to convince themselves because they're about 30 seconds away from swallowing a gun because of the bad choices they've made. And they're actually out trying to argue with themselves that, no, you did the right thing. You were the boss, babe. Okay, you rose to middle management. Okay, you left a legacy. A legacy. That was your legacy, was showing up in the pantsuits and making PowerPoints and bitching at people in a corporate setting. That's your legacy. Where the Christmas holiday game, you can't call it Christmas. The holiday games you set up at your office full of people that only interact with you because they're paid to do it, because that's the only way anyone's ever going to interact with you. That's your legacy, is making a bunch of people stop doing their jobs so they can play a stupid party game that's typically relegated to children's birthday parties that you might as well be forcing them to play at gunpoint. That's your legacy. Aftyn Behn. That's what you will leave behind. People who interact with you because they were paid to do it. And even then, some of them are going to call in sick. People that go to the happy hour with you. The corporate happy hour, the non-mandatory team building happy hour. By the way, it's mandatory if you want to raise next year. We're going to hold it again. You're sober, don't care. Sit in that bar. Because it's not about team building. It's about building her self-esteem up. She's got to convince herself, Aftyn Behn does, that these people actually want to spend time around her. And yeah, they spend time around her at work when she's hogging the coffee machine, because that's all she does, is send out an email, make coffee, and argue with people on Facebook all day. But she needs people to hang out with her off the clock, so she's going to make you go there. Do you see? This is why, because they always say, the liberals will always use this excuse, and they don't get it, is they say men won't vote for female politicians. Men don't want women to lead. Well, if you look around, there's quite a few women in politics. There's quite a few women that have risen to not the top, but close to the top of politics. A lot of them. The average male voter, and a lot of female voters, by the way, their problem is not with women. Their problem is with women like you. And you guys don't understand that. Think about the average voter. The average voter is a guy working a 9-to-5 job, making a decent living, just trying to pay for his family. That guy lives his entire existence in fear of one person. It's not his wife. It's not the president. It's not a potential home invader that's going to kick his door in and rob him. That guy, the person he fears more than anyone, is not a member of Al-Qaeda. It's not a gang member. It's not a schizophrenic homeless man that's going to set him on fire on the subway. The person he fears more than anyone is the HR lady at his job. Because she does nothing all day but sit around and look for reasons to come after him or her. That's who they're terrified of. That's what you guys don't get. You don't appeal to the average voter because you remind the average voter of the person in their life they fear the most. They put up with HR lady shit from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and God forbid they don't work weekends. Well, the HR lady doesn't. But they live in constant fear of her that she found some Facebook post from 6 years ago because she's digging through their social media, not like she's got anything better to do. Or she heard that you made a joke to somebody at the water cooler or whatever. They live in fear of that woman every day at their job. They don't want to go home and watch her speak from the Oval Office on the news at night. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.